Kim, thanks very much for your time this afternoon helping us to compose this video clip as part of the orientation for the Faculty of Medicine. I'm Dr. Gavin Stuart, Dean, Faculty of Medicine. I'm joined by Dr. Kim McGrail, who has recently joined the faculty in the professoriate, and we're pleased to allow you to be a part of this conversation in responding to some of Kim's questions and concerns related to orientation in the Faculty of Medicine, and hopefully provide you with an opportunity to both learn and use this as a springboard to garner further information as you see fit. I might ask you, what's important to you coming on as a new faculty member that I can help you with?
Well, I think that one of the things that I have thought a bit about and struggled with a little bit is sort of understanding what all of the expectations are for a new faculty member. Certainly my contract with UBC is laid out into 3 areas, research, service, and teaching, but that's a very broad categories, and there's a lot of detail that goes underneath it. So maybe you could start with research and just ask, do you think that the distributed medical school model that you've described actually provides some opportunity for research that maybe didn't exist before? And maybe I should qualify that by saying I don't do clinical research really. My research area is in analysis of data, but a lot of it is applied, and therefore you're often looking for partners of people who actually understand local context better than I would when I often sit in an office rather than I'm out there with people. So are there opportunities there that I should be thinking about? Excellent question, and I think
the research within the Faculty of Medicine, and certainly within UBC itself, has a diversity and richness to it that I think is reflected in the investigators and faculty members themselves. Certainly there's a very strong biomedical research platform within the Faculty of Medicine that is located in many different facilities, including the Life Sciences Center here on the Point Grey campus, in addition to many of the Health Authority research institutes and other locations across the province, including our partner universities. Clinical research is something that you've obviously touched on and occurs in many different sites. It has tended to be hospital-based, but quite frankly, the opportunity presented by the distributed program that we have in place really means that investigators and learners now have exposure to communities and settings in many ways that they did not have the opportunity or privilege to do so before. So that enhances the opportunities for clinical research and really takes it out into the ambulatory and community clinics in a very significant way.
And is there anything I can or should be doing either in terms of how I present my CV or in terms of what I can do speaking with people within the university to help make sure that that keeps moving along as it should?
What we have tried to do through the mentorship program is ensure that all new faculty members, junior and senior, do have access or the opportunity to link with a mentor that may or may not be the department head. Very often is somebody else other than the department head, that gives that individual the opportunity to have somebody else look as a third party over your shoulder at the career progression that is taking place, at the research grant application, at the areas you're focused on, and how your success is reflected in your CV, your curriculum vitae. And on the one hand, many persons, I think I recall myself sort of thinking, well, of course I meant to know that, so I don't ask anybody. And most persons have a fairly reasonable understanding of the elements of that. We've recognized it's critically important to have that mentorship piece in place, and I very much would both encourage you to utilize that and ensure that that is in place on a go-forward basis.
And then coming back again to the whole process of promotion, tenure and promotion review, a teaching dossier is obviously an important piece of that. And would you view the mentors that you mentioned earlier as being one of the way that you would get a review and comments back on the teaching dossier, or are there other resources or avenues available?
That would be the ideal opportunity to receive feedback, and that's part of the intent of both the role of a department head, but also the role of the identified mentor to you personally. Having said that, the Office of Faculty Affairs is always available to assist in providing feedback and input in that regard, and if it's necessary to have you receive mentorship from some other persons as well, then make that available. Because the teaching dossier, really, it's very important, but it's important because it's one way of documentation of teaching and also documentation of the quality or the effectiveness of that teaching, and that's what it's designed around.
The other large area of commitment that a new faculty member takes on when coming to UBC is service. And I would love to ask you a very open-ended question of what is service? How would you define it? Because it seems very ephemeral to me.
My understanding or definition of service in the university setting is it's service to the population that we serve. So without that sounding too obtuse, it can be in many different settings. So we have a population within the university environment that we work with and that we serve. And in that context, that may be faculty committee work, it may be departmental work, it may be within the university environment, serving on a Senate committee or other components of the university community, which is part of the community that we actually serve. If we look within the Faculty of Medicine, there's a large community that we provide service to, which are the persons to whom care is provided, or patients. And again, service in that context may well involve clinical care, whether it's in the domain of midwifery or whether it's in the domain of family practice, but that's all a component of the service to the community that we're here for. The other area in terms of service may be much broader than an individual person or patient. It may be to a population, and I think that's very much where some of the impact of your work is seen, is at the population level, whether it's a health authority, whether it's a municipality, whether it's a province, or whether it's beyond. And that service itself may well be in part research where you've generated new knowledge, but it may actually be where that new knowledge is translated into policy, and then the implementation of that policy may be a component of the service that you're providing. So I hope that gives some clarification, but I always view service as across a spectrum, and it's to a population or a public, which may be one person or maybe the 4.3 million persons in British Columbia.
Now, one of the things that any new person will struggle with is trying to balance time and to schedule time and to make sure that all the commitments that need to be met are actually doable within a certain period, like a year. So are there calendar or other kinds of resources that the Faculty of Medicine has available so that we can see when grant deadlines are, or when internal deadlines in advance of granting competitions and other resources are available?
At least 4 areas that I would encourage you to be aware of. Number one of which is with your appointment in the School of Population and Public Health. It's very important that they have a calendar that makes available many of those dates. And many of the other individuals and faculties who are in departments or other schools, again, they have that provided to them within the context of their department. Second of which is I'd encourage you to refer to the Faculty of Medicine website. Whether it's in the research portfolio or the educational portfolio, the team's usually very good about making sure that there's an outline of the important dates to consider, particularly around grant application, particularly around different opportunities where the research office has tried very hard to be as inclusive as possible of what those research opportunities might be, both locally, nationally, and internationally. The third component is we try and provide information to you as best as possible through the faculty link, which is sent out electronically and made available to all faculty and staff members, and again may be a source of information. And then finally through regular school or department meetings where it's important that many of these aspects are raised. Kim, thank you very much for your time this afternoon. Very much appreciated. I know we've kept you away from the good work that you're doing for yourself and for the Faculty of Medicine at UBC. Also very much appreciate the service you're providing to the faculty and the university as part of our orientation package. I'd also like to thank all of you who have taken time to watch this video. I very much appreciate it. I hope it's been helpful to yourself. I would encourage you to use this website as a source of information by accessing any of the links to the specific portfolios or to the departments, schools, research centers that can be accessed through this website. Please also take time, if you have questions, to use the online mechanism for asking your questions, and we'll endeavor to provide you with a timely answer to assist you in gaining that information. I'd like to extend my own personal warm welcome to all of you, to the Faculty of Medicine. Very much look forward to working with you as colleagues in the future. And again, thanks for your time.